Right. Let's try again our launch. So I modified a bit some settings of this SG38. Not everything works perfectly. For example, this guy is freezing, but that's not a problem. The fact that it's turning before launch like this, I cannot really control it. And also this noise, I cannot remove it. It's when the glider is sitting on the sled. I did modify it so it has keys or skids instead of wheels. So let's launch. The launch will be interesting, probably. So now the guy is aligned. So long. Took off. Okay. Okay, so it wasn't that bad. So we are at Mont Blanc. This guy should gear up. So what more I added to the glider? I added the effects of CFD animation. It's just the effects of computer fluid dynamics. It's not really, the flight model is not really modified. So I don't know what's the towing plane doing. It should turn. So I changed the towing plane, and it's funny, especially the airport is funny to take off with a towing plane and with this glider that has some limitations. So we are going roughly towards Chamonix. I don't know why. It should turn. Okay, it's turning. I want to see a turn. Also, so what I modified, I put the rope, I positioned it precisely on the nose for the towing version. So when you launch by a towing plane, the rope will be just in front of that ear. And then when you launch with a trolley or with a winch, then the rope will be attached below, basically under the seat, almost under the seat of the pilot. So you will have other position when launching. Right. So this is Mont Blanc, and this is we can see the strip we took off, and where that dude is freezing to death. So the launch was good. So if the launch is unsuccessful or you do something wrong, of course the towing plane will disengage, will detach the rope, and the rope will hang from your nose. And then, okay, so he's saying, so now we detach, and now the rope will stay within. All right. So the plane is actually at the 6th with some French skin. Problem with this glider is not having any, especially in VR, you cannot see any instruments. So you have to really gauge your speed and also your attitude. And if you mismanage it, then the glider will really slow down, and it does fall on its nose. I'm not sure the flight model is 100% right. Maybe it isn't, but I didn't bother with it. So let's see, the animation just works. I will not do crazy stuff, but it can do it. You can see it. Yeah, so that was a bit of a crazy stuff. Because I don't want to lose too much altitude. So we are just above Mont Blanc here. I'm not sure this alti surface, this strip, is real. It's from a mod for sure. There is also a helipad just around where the boulder is, that rock. So our plan is to pass by the Aiguille du Midi, which is another scenery from Mamou Design, awesome scenery, and then we'll turn towards Italy and we'll try to follow the valley towards Aosta, where those icons are with players. We'll see if we can, because the glider is not really good. So we have a jet flying by. This glider is not really good at soaring, if at all. And also, once you lost altitude, the energy you gain by speed is not really easy to recover it in altitude. So it's difficult to manage the energy with it. But other than that, it's very cool. And even if it doesn't have a pilot, like a first-person view pilot, it's very cool in VR. It really gives you the perspective of being just on the nose of the glider. So we will dive here. I do have damage removed, because I think also the glider has some limitations and takes damage even on the ground. So I'm not sure how I can correct it for now. I think it's something that is correctable. So we will go really, really fast, pass by the Aiguille du Midi. We can see the cable car coming up. Okay, so that's enough speed. So you'll see we cannot really recover altitude. If we find some winds, then yes, but other than that, no. For example, now kind of lost the energy. We are not really going fast, and it doesn't have a good gliding ratio. So we can see the other cable cars going towards the other station over this lake of ice. Yeah, the shadow doesn't help. I'm flying with the real weather. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make it. You really need to fight your tendency to climb, to pull on the stick. You most of the time try to gauge the speed by the sound, by the changing of the sound. And yeah, sometimes the glider just catches. We are in the shade, so probably we have down drafts. Let's just check. We have a freeze. So yeah, we have down drafts and then some up drafts there. Let's head towards those, but I'm not betting on them. It's always a bit of a freeze when you activate this function. Of course, when you need to manage your speed, your energy, the best is to stay inside cockpit. If you are trying to do it from outside for the views, you might end up in trouble. Look, the other 3 cars going on the cable. So from this point of view, it looks like we are going to make it over the... but we'll see. Here we should have some help from those updrafts, but you never know. Sometimes the wind changes, but looks better than other times. That's a huge glacier right there. Look, I'm being sucked downwards, but the altitude is enough now to really survive this. We also had the good launch. And this is where the cable car turns, switches, and you have some cable cars coming up, and then you switch to the cable cars that are going. So yeah, this is the problem with turning. You cannot really turn with this, especially when the winds are not in favor. You don't turn really well with it without losing a lot of altitude. So I will not bother turning that way, because we can always escape now down here. So yeah, I can feel how the altitude is dropping really fast. Let's see the winds. What the winds are doing? Nothing. So here probably we have downdrafts. We can see the winds going up over the edge. Okay, but we survived the passage. And we are now in Italy. Here is where I think the tunnel under the mountain, the tunnel that connects French with Italy goes. But now in winter we cannot really see the roads very well. So anyway, what other things are with this mod? The pilot is coming from the Godfriend's World War II pilot mod. No changes to the camera made. There are 2 skins for this glider, and they have to be modified. The aircraft CFG file has to be modified on those skins also, so it supports the same launching capabilities, because otherwise, if you change with those 2 skins available from flightsim.io, you lose the capability to launch with the wing walker and so on. You only have the winch launch, which is available if you click here. There is like a click spot in front here, and it will launch you with a script, basically modded script, but a script. And also when you launch with that script, if you are still on the ground, you get the wing walker if you have the mod that I'm running. So you will see the wing walker. So there is like an air base here, or like an airstrip here. Calm. Somebody landed on Mont Blanc. Let's see our flight plan. So I think we will get to Aosta. Probably I will end the video here because the mod was presented enough. But yeah, this is a very nice glider to try, and especially if somebody can modify its flying capabilities, flying model, so it flies as close as possible to the real one. It's not a really a good glider, even in real life, but and maybe if the pilot could be added inside. And sometimes I think I saw this glider having some airspeed indicator or something. Again, it would be nice to have. I think there was another mod of this same glider, the SG-38, that had some primitive instruments or something. Yeah, it doesn't have, finally I can say it doesn't have more than this camera, and if you try to change it, especially in VR, it will give you an error. Basically now I cannot change back into the cockpit, but when I change it tells me that there is no VR controllers compatibility. I just have to click that. Alright, so that's it. Are we going to make it to Aosta? Seems we lose altitude like crazy. By the way, the glider is like €3 on Cockspur site directly. It's very cheap. And it's fun. Very good quality, even in VR. You don't have problems with the graphics. It's not really up with the top of the top, but it's decent enough. Textures are really not low resolution. Maybe the bump map is a bit lower resolution. It really doesn't matter. Most probably we are not going to make it. So we will land in the trees. Now we are in external camera. We lost some speed. You can see the quality. It's quite decent. The pilot is not keeping his feet on the pedals, and also the hands are not attached. But so yeah, when we launch with the winch, the cable is connected almost to that suspension dampener. Let's try to accelerate and see what happens. Maybe we get lucky and we can at least pass over this bend in the river. If not, as the song goes, I'll see you in the trees. Apple Vision Pro. Spatial gliding. Oh, let's check the radio.
Milan Center Sierra Golf Tree 8 is type 8 miles southeast of Hotel Sierra Kilo Yankee Whiskey 5,000 feet. Request flight following.
Sierra Golf Tree 8 Milan Center. Squawk 6372.
Squawk 6 Tree 72 Golf Tree 8.
This is another thing.
Golf Tree 8 radar, contact 8 miles southeast of
I'll have
Hotel
to
Sierra
check.
Kilo Yankee Whiskey 5,500 feet.
Why it's now
UNH
calling me by
30.46.
the name of the glider and not the
Roger Golf Tree 8.
not by my registration. I'll have to check, is it just me or the mod? Because normally it will say type and nothing, because the type was not registered in the aircraft CFG file. I think we will pass the bend. We have some winds here. But it looks like at least we will pass the bend and turn towards left. So we will have some landing area, probably. Maybe the city, I don't know.
Speedbird 584, you are 1,600 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 290, keep speed not above 220 knots. Climb and maintain.
So we will just switch radio. I don't know where's the radio, probably in my pocket. Oh, look, a car. The roads here are a bit awkward. Like those two isolated strips, I don't know what's their purpose. know what to say. Maybe there is like a small chance we will land close to the airport. But I see a flat terrain there. And I think I can make it there. Even if something goes wrong. Of course, if the wind changes and we have a downdraft, I will land like a helicopter in 500 meters. But it looks like I'm going to be able to at least go to that shopping mall or something. It is there. We'll see. The scenery is very good in VR. I'm not on 200 or 400. I'm on 100 LOD. But it looks really, really good. Minus the little things that the VR does to the image. Because I'm basically on ultra. But still some shadows are like deterred. We can see the airplane right there at 10 o'clock on the snow. It's like made of pixels. So yeah, not possible to reach the airport. It's too far. And we are too low. And also there is like a small shimmering, although anti-aliasing and everything is working at maximum. The trees have very bad resolution, is very low sampling. So if we would have the trees at better resolution, it would be less shimmering, but then also with less performance. So I don't know. It's like a trade-off, but we don't have any way to test with or without. So it would have been very nice to have possibility to choose. Here the wind is not very good. I would try to push it so I'm past this small something. I'll try to land somewhere if I'm really out of energy. Trying to get closer to the airport. But yeah, the planet is sucking badly. Let's see. Yeah, so the airfield is really over that ridge, but yeah, it doesn't look like possible to reach unless some wind changes, but it's just everything is in shade, so no, not going to make it. So I think I will choose this spot here, this empty space. Otherwise I will end up in those trees most probably. It's 5-minute walk from this position to the airport. So let's go land. And the landing is tricky with this airplane because when you glider, because when you think you have enough energy to even shed it off, actually it turns out you don't, and it will stop very fast. Wow, the blur on this snowed grass is very pronounced. Yeah, that's The flight with SG-38 from Cockspur. What a name.